Hey, what's up guys? It's Tia and welcome to my channel. I know it has been a really long time since I filmed a video. Honestly, I was super busy with school and work and everything, and I just kind of let making videos sit on the back burner for a while. And if I'm being completely honest, if there's one thing I'm really good at, it's being very inconsistent with my hobbies. I'll be super obsessed with doing something for a few months and then I forget about it for another few, and then the cycle starts all over again. And so that's kind of what happened with YouTube. I know it's been like 7 months since I posted my last video, but I'm taking a semester off of school, and so I'm just working right now, so I have a lot of free time this semester to get back into doing things that I want to do, and so making YouTube videos is one of them. So this is going to be my first video back in the last 7 months. Yeah, so if you want to see the rest of this video, keep watching. So before we actually get started, a couple things I just want to start this video off with is thank you to anyone who has subscribed to my channel so far. There's like 82 of you, which is more than I ever thought I would get making YouTube videos, just because I do this as a hobby. It's fun, it's an outlet for me. Secondly, I want to apologize for the mess that's in the background right now. I don't really have a setup in this bedroom that I'm in yet. Since I filmed my last video, I've moved bedrooms, and I'm going to be moving apartments in a couple months as well. So I'm hoping once I get into a different apartment, I'll have time to set up like an actual place to film that's not so messy. So deal with me for now. Also, sorry if my lighting is really weird. I think it looks okay, but the lighting in this apartment sucks, and I live in the basement, so there's no natural lighting at all. So I'm using like 3 different flashlights behind my camera to make this lighting look decent. So hopefully it looks okay. So I just wanted to say hello. I'm back. And to do something fun for this little welcome back video, I found a tag that I want to do, and it's called the music tag. I found it on a blog on Tumblr. I will link it down below because the person who runs this blog has a whole bunch of different tags you can do. So if you're looking for something, you can go on there. I will leave it down in the description. But for now, let's just get started. It has 18 questions. I'm going to answer them really quickly to just give you guys a fun little video before I kick off this channel again. The first question says, what band or artist do you own the most albums by? That most definitely has to be State Champs. If you can't tell by this flag back here, I love State Champs. They're my favorite band. I have all of their albums on vinyl and all of their albums on CD, and I have multiple copies of several of their albums as well. So State Champs is definitely the one that I own the most albums by. Question 2 says, what was the last song you listened to? I was just driving in the car and I had my phone on shuffle. The last one that came up was Sundays by Amine off of his album Good For You. Number 3 says, what is in your CD player right now? I just checked before I started filming this video, and oddly enough, the last CD that I was listening to was Bangers by Miley Cyrus. Question 4 says, what was the last show you attended? I haven't been to a concert in quite a while, since October actually, and the last tour that I went to was the Modern Nostalgia tour with The Maine. Number 5 says, what was the greatest show you've been to? I've been to a lot of shows, but honestly, the ones that I can think that are the greatest to go to is every year I go to the iHeartRadio Daytime Village. Basically what it is it's a daytime village. It's a daytime music festival. It just lasts from like 11 o'clock in the morning to like 6 p.m. at night. And it goes in between night 1 and night 2 of the iHeartRadio Music Festival. And it's a really great show to go to because they have so many different artists that perform from all different genres. I know last year I was able to see like Little Mix, Halsey, Migos, like all of these people. They usually have like 10 to 15 artists that perform a few songs there. And I've been the last 3 years in a row, and it's always my favorite show to go to. Question 6 says, what is the worst show you've been to? I honestly can't think of a bad show that I've been to that I was just like, that was absolutely terrible. The only one that comes to mind is I saw Hailstorm, The Pretty Reckless, and Starset on tour a few years ago, and the show wasn't bad, but the acoustics and in the venue and the way that they had their kind of sound set up was absolutely terrible. You could hardly understand the actual music itself. Honestly, just the way it sounded was awful. They were really great to watch and they were very, very great performers, but the overall sound of everything was just kind of shit. Question 7 says, what is the most musically involved you have ever been? I don't really understand this question, so I just kind of interpreted it as like, what do you do that's most musical? And I guess that would be that I worked for a radio station at my college. We have a local radio station that broadcasts on air. I was the student station manager of it, so I got to pick new music and DJ, and I was a co-host of the morning show 5 days a week, so that was the most musically involved I've ever been, I guess. I don't really know. That's a weird question. I don't understand the meaning, but that's how I made it sound. Question 8 says, what show are you looking forward to? Unfortunately, I don't have tickets to any shows at all right now, so I don't really have any to look forward to. Question 9 says, what is your favorite band shirt? This was really, really hard question for me because basically my entire wardrobe consists of band shirts. But I went through my closet and I found the one that I like the most and that I think is the most like funny is this one. It says, fuck that, get money. It is a shirt that I got when I saw the 1975 for the first time. Question 10 says, what musician would you like to hang out with for a day? This one was very easy for me to pick. I chose Halsey. I met her a couple years ago and she was absolutely like the coolest person I've probably ever met. And I just love her social media. I love what she stands for. I love her as a person, and I think it would be so awesome to get to hang out with her for a day and kind of just like pick her brain, because I think she has a very interesting view on the world and an interesting view on people and others, and I think it'd be awesome to just kind of pick her brain and talk to her for a day. Question 11 says, who is one musician or group you wish would make a comeback? No doubt in my mind, the Jonas Brothers. I was a huge Jonas Brothers fan and I never got to see them in concert because they were touring before I started getting into concerts and going to concerts, and they broke up before I started going to concerts, so I never got to see them. But if you've been on the internet lately, there was this thing on Twitter and social media that the Jonas Brothers Instagram account was reactivated. So I'm crossing my fingers for a Jonas Brothers comeback and a reunion tour, because that's what I need in my life. Number 12 says, who is one band or artist you've never seen live but always wanted to? My answer to this one was also very easy, but it also kind of sucks because there's not a possibility at all for me to see this person because they have passed away, but that is Michael Jackson. I love Michael Jackson. I love all of his music. I actually mourned him when he died by like listening to all of his music and watching his music videos over and over again, but I love him. He's one of my top 10 favorite artists, and I think it would have been so awesome to see him when he was in his prime, and even just to see him perform live at all I think would have been awesome because he was so musically talented. So may he rest in peace. Number 13 says, name 4 or more flawless albums. This one was really hard for me because I listened to a lot of music, so I just stuck to 4. I picked 4 albums that I love to listen to front to back over and over again. And so the 4 that I came up with, first, Scars and Souvenirs by Theory of a Dead Man. I really got into this band when I was like 12 or 13, and ever since then I've just loved them. I've seen them live a couple times, and that is definitely my favorite album by them. There's not a single song on there that I don't like. The second one is Better Weather by With Confidence. I saw them when they opened up for State Champs on their last tour, and I had listened to them prior to seeing them live, but after seeing them live, I just really fell in love with their music, and so I took more time to listen in depth to Better Weather, and whenever I listen to it, I don't find myself wanting to skip any songs. I want to listen to all of them, and to me that's what makes a great album, is if I don't want to skip through any of the songs. So that was one of them. The third one is Badlands by Halsey. Badlands is the album that really got me into Halsey. I listened to her Room 93 EP a little bit, but I never really quite got into her that much, I guess. I wouldn't have said she was one of my favorite artists in the Room 93 era. I liked her music, but I wasn't super into it. And then after Badlands came out, I just fell in love with her, and my love's grown since then, and I still find myself listening to Badlands over and over again, so I had to include that one. And then the last of the four is These Days by Mike Stud. I don't listen to a ton of rap music, but I do listen to a little bit. Mike Stud is one of my favorite rappers. I've been listening to him since I was like 17 or 18. I was a senior in high school. I recently went to California and saw him live, and it was amazing. And These Days is probably my favorite album by him. So if you haven't heard of Mike Stud, you should go check out These Days. Question 14 says, how many concerts have you been to? This one is hard for me because I don't really keep track of how many concerts I go to, but I do keep a list of which artists I see. So I went through my list, and there's 105 different bands and artists that I've seen live. Many of them I've seen multiple times, so I don't know how many concerts that would be, but that's how many people I've seen live. Question 15 says, who have you seen the most live? And that is State Champs. I've currently seen them live 8 different times. Number 17 says, what was your last musical phase before you wisened up? I don't really like this question just because I go through a lot of musical phases, but I still listen to a lot of music that I used to listen to and still appreciate it. If I have to pick a certain phase that I went through that I was kind of confused about, in my junior year of high school, I was very, very obsessed with country music. That's all I would listen to. If it wasn't country, I didn't want to listen to it. And looking back now, I don't listen to a ton of country music except for songs that I liked when I was obsessed with it. So I guess that would be the phase that I picked. And then the last question, number 18, says, what is your guilty pleasure that you hate to admit liking? I'm very upfront with all the music that I listen to, but if I had to pick a guilty pleasure, it would probably be the band 303. I know probably every single song by 303. I listen to all of their albums, and I just really love to bump them in the car when I'm traveling. But I found that when I tell people that I like 303, they kind of give me like a scoff. They're like, oh, 303, you like 303? That's weird. That's a weird thing. So I guess those guys would be my guilty pleasure because I really love listening to them, even though people seem to like, I don't know, 303. That is all 18 questions. This video turned out to be a lot longer than I was planning on, but here we are. Can't go back now. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to do a fun little thing to kind of kick off this channel again. So thank you for watching. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below your answers to any of these questions, or if you have the same answers as I did, let me know in the comments below as well. If you want to stick around and see what other kind of videos I decide to make and post on this channel, you can go ahead and hit subscribe. I will also leave a link in the description to other tags that I've done on this channel in the past. If you want to get to know me a little bit better, I've done a few tags, so I will leave those in the description as well. But otherwise, I'm going to end this video. Hopefully, I will be posting videos weekly, or at least twice a month is what I'm aiming for. Hopefully more, but definitely not less than twice a month. So keep an eye out for those. I know that I'm going to be doing an updated record collection. That's going to be the next video that I'm going to film, I think. So keep an eye out for that. But until then, I will see you next time. Bye.